Did you know that nearly 90% of parents yell at their kids at least once a week? It's no surprise, parenting is hard, and toddlers can be really challenging. But here's the shocking part. Research shows that yelling actually makes behavior problems worse. In fact, kids who are yelled at often have trouble regulating their emotions and may act out even more. Now, imagine being able to get your toddler to listen and behave without raising your voice. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. There are powerful, proven strategies that can transform your child's behavior, and they don't involve yelling, threats, or punishment. In this video, I'm going to share 6 game-changing techniques that will help you connect with your toddler, teach them positive behavior, and get them to listen, all without the stress of shouting. You'll learn how simple words, empathy, and a little patience can lead to calmer, happier moments for both you and your child. Ready to discover the secret? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The magic of choose your words wisely. When it comes to toddlers, language is more powerful than we realize. You might be surprised to learn that toddlers have a remarkable ability to understand the tone of your voice, even if they don't yet fully comprehend the words you say. A study from the University of Washington found that infants as young as 7 months old respond more strongly to the emotional tone in speech than the actual words. This means that when you use a gentle, calm tone, your child is more likely to listen and cooperate. Instead of yelling, try saying, "Let's use our quiet voices," or, "Can you please help me with this?" It's simple but effective. When you frame requests as a cooperative task, it invites your child to participate rather than resist. For instance, instead of, "Stop jumping on the couch," try, "Let's jump on the floor like kangaroos." Changing the way you phrase things can have a huge impact. This is something many parents overlook, but the right language can create a sense of calm and control. A key aspect of this strategy is giving your child specific instructions. Instead of saying, "Don't make a mess," try, "Please pick up your toys." Clear and direct language helps toddlers focus on the task at hand. It's like giving them a map for behavior. In fact, research from the American Academy of Pediatrics suggests that using clear and positive language helps children develop a better understanding of expectations, which can lead to improved behavior. Your tone also plays a huge role in how your child responds. A warm, steady voice is far more effective than raising your voice, which can make toddlers feel anxious or upset. If your child is acting out, try lowering your voice instead of raising it. Studies have shown that when adults speak in a calm and soothing voice, children are more likely to respond calmly, even in difficult situations. Another powerful tool in choosing your words wisely is avoiding words that create resistance. Words like "no" or "stop" are often met with defiance, as toddlers naturally resist commands. Instead, try redirecting their attention with words that encourage positive behavior, like, "Let's do this," or, "How about we try this instead?" You're essentially giving them the power to make a choice, which toddlers love. Finally, stay consistent with your phrasing. Repeating positive language helps your child know what to expect. If you consistently ask your child to pick up their toys with a calm voice, they will start to associate those words with the desired action. Consistency in language, just like consistency in routine, builds trust and makes expectations clear. Chapter 2. The empathy effect. Talking to their feelings. Have you ever stopped to think about how your child is feeling before you react to their behavior? According to child development experts, recognizing and validating your child's emotions can significantly improve their behavior. Acknowledge their feelings, and you'll see a change in how they respond to you. For example, instead of simply saying, "Stop crying," try saying, "I know you're upset. Let's talk about it." Empathy isn't just about soothing your child, it also helps them understand their emotions. By naming emotions like angry, frustrated, or sad, you teach your child to identify their own feelings. This builds emotional intelligence and can help reduce tantrums. Dr. John Gottman, a renowned psychologist, emphasizes that emotionally intelligent children are more likely to be cooperative and respectful. So, next time your toddler has a meltdown, instead of saying, "Stop that," try, "I can see you're really angry." What can we do to feel better? What's fascinating is that empathy doesn't just calm your child in the moment, it actually shapes their behavior in the long term. Studies show that toddlers who experience empathy from their caregivers are more likely to develop positive social behaviors as they grow. Children who feel understood and supported are more likely to engage in prosocial behaviors like sharing and helping others. It's a simple yet powerful tool. You can also use empathy to help guide your child's actions. If your toddler is refusing to share a toy, instead of scolding them, try saying, "I understand you don't want to share right now, but your friend might feel sad if you don't." By framing the situation in terms of empathy for others, you help your child consider the feelings of those around them, which encourages more cooperative behavior. Interestingly, empathy can also improve your relationship with your child. When they feel seen and heard, they are more likely to listen to you in the future. Empathy isn't just a tool for calming, it's a foundation for building trust and respect between you and your child. Another benefit of empathy is that it creates an emotional buffer. When your child feels understood, they're less likely to escalate their emotions. Instead of simply reacting with a "no," you're validating their experience and giving them a chance to calm down, which reduces the chance of outbursts. This is particularly useful when trying to avoid yelling or harsh punishment. Finally, empathy is a two-way street. By practicing empathy, you model emotional awareness for your child. Over time, they'll learn to use empathy themselves, creating a positive feedback loop where both you and your child communicate and connect on a deeper level. Chapter 3. The Power of Positive Redirection. If your toddler is running around the house or throwing their food on the floor, the instinct might be to yell or scold. But there's a much more effective way to handle these behaviors: positive redirection. Instead of telling your child what not to do, show them what they can do. This simple shift in approach can drastically reduce negative behavior and build more constructive habits. Positive redirection works by guiding your child's energy or attention towards something else that's more acceptable. For example, if your toddler is throwing their toys, try saying, "Let's throw the ball outside instead." This not only prevents the undesirable behavior but also gives your child a productive alternative. Research shows that when children are given choices rather than commands, they're more likely to cooperate. This strategy works because toddlers have limited self-control and may struggle to understand abstract concepts like, "Don't do that." By offering a redirection, you are providing a clear action that feels more like a fun opportunity than a restriction. And the best part? It doesn't involve raising your voice. Redirecting your child's attention is particularly effective because it channels their energy into something positive. A study from the University of Minnesota found that when children are given activities that match their developmental needs, like running or building, they are less likely to engage in disruptive behavior. Positive redirection gives them an outlet for that energy. An example of redirection is when your child is acting out because they're hungry. Instead of getting frustrated, you could say, "Let's help make a snack together," or, "How about we sit down and eat now?" By making the activity fun and engaging, your child is more likely to follow your lead. Redirection doesn't just work with toddlers. It's effective for older children too, and it can help prevent the power struggles that often arise in parenting. Whether your child is having a meltdown or just refusing to listen, offering a more engaging option can keep the peace without raising your voice. Another great thing about positive redirection is that it helps toddlers learn more appropriate ways to behave. When they are constantly redirected in a positive way, they begin to understand what is expected of them and what is acceptable. This reduces the chance of disruptive behavior in the future. Moreover, positive redirection helps you stay calm and in control. When you're not reacting out of frustration, you're modeling self-regulation for your child. This teaches them that problems can be solved calmly and thoughtfully, without the need for yelling. Don't forget to subscribe to get more strategies like this to make parenting easier. Chapter 4. The Ask, Don't Tell Technique. Have you ever wondered why your toddler ignores you when you tell them what to do? It might not be because they're being defiant. In fact, research shows that toddlers respond better to being asked rather than told. Instead of simply commanding them, "Put your shoes on now," try saying, "Can you put your shoes on, please?" The difference might seem subtle, but it's a game changer. When you ask, you're offering your child a sense of autonomy and control. And that's something toddlers crave. According to a study in the Journal of Developmental Psychology, children who are given choices are more likely to cooperate and engage. By asking questions, you're inviting your toddler into the conversation, which makes them feel like they're part of the decision-making process. For example, when it's time to leave the house, instead of demanding, "Put on your coat," try saying, "Would you like to wear the blue coat or the red one today?" Giving your child options helps them feel empowered, and they're more likely to cooperate. They feel like they have a say in the matter, even if the choices are limited. Asking questions can also help toddlers become more independent. They learn how to make decisions, which boosts their confidence and problem-solving skills. A study from the University of California found that toddlers who are encouraged to make choices are better at solving problems as they grow older. This small shift in how you communicate can lay the foundation for their future success. It's important to make sure the options you offer are reasonable. Giving them the choice between "Put on your coat" and "Stay in your pajamas" won't be productive. Instead, keep the choices simple and within the realm of what's possible. Offering a choice between two acceptable options helps avoid confusion and frustration. One of the best things about asking, instead of telling, is that it reduces power struggles. Toddlers are naturally inclined to resist direct commands because they're asserting their independence. But when you frame a request as a choice, they're less likely to push back. It's a simple way to turn a potential conflict into a cooperative moment. This technique also works wonders with older children. Rather than telling them to clean their room, you could ask, "Would you like to clean your room first or help set the table?" Giving them a choice empowers them to take ownership of the task. It's a small but effective way to foster cooperation without using forceful language. Remember, the goal is to guide, not control. Asking questions encourages collaboration and fosters a positive relationship. It helps you connect with your child in a way that feels respectful and empowering. Over time, your toddler will begin to understand that they're a part of the process, which makes them more likely to listen and behave. If you're finding these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe for more. Chapter 5. Consistency is key. Have you ever noticed how your toddler can behave differently depending on the day? One day they're calm and cooperative, and the next they're throwing tantrums over the smallest things. While some of this is just part of being a toddler, one factor that can make a huge difference in their behavior is consistency. Children, especially toddlers, thrive on routine and predictability. When you're consistent with your words and actions, your child knows exactly what to expect. Consistency helps your child feel safe and secure. Research from the American Academy of Pediatrics shows that a predictable routine helps children develop better emotional regulation. When toddlers know what's coming next, they're less likely to act out because they feel more in control of their environment. Consistency gives them the stability they need to thrive. For example, if you always say, "It's time to clean up," before bed, and then you immediately follow that with a calm, consistent routine, like brushing teeth and reading a book, your toddler will begin to associate this sequence of events with the end of the day. This reduces the likelihood of resistance. They'll start to expect it, and it won't feel like a surprise. Being consistent doesn't just mean following the same routine every day. It also involves being consistent in how you communicate with your child. If you set a rule, stick to it. If you say, "No screen time before dinner," make sure you follow through every time. This teaches your child that rules are not negotiable, which reduces confusion and frustration. Interestingly, consistency isn't just about discipline. It's also about how you express love and affection. Consistent positive reinforcement, like hugs or praise, helps build a strong bond between you and your child. When they know they can count on your love and support, they feel more secure and are more likely to behave well. Studies also show that consistency builds trust. When parents are inconsistent with their expectations, children often feel anxious and uncertain. They don't know what to expect, which can lead to emotional outbursts. On the other hand, when your words and actions align, your child knows what's coming, and they feel more comfortable cooperating. Consistency in your language is just as important as consistency in your actions. If you tell your toddler that they can't have dessert unless they eat their dinner, make sure you always stick to that rule. When children see that their parents are fair and consistent, they're more likely to follow rules without resistance. The good news is that you don't need to be perfect. Parenting is about progress, not perfection. If you slip up and give in once in a while, don't beat yourself up. The key is to try to be consistent most of the time. Your child will learn that you are a reliable, stable presence in their life. Chapter 6. Tiny Pause, Big Impact. Have you ever found yourself about to lose your patience with your toddler, only to take a deep breath and realize that a moment of calm could have prevented the outburst? It's easy to get caught up in the heat of the moment, but taking a tiny pause before responding can make a world of difference. In fact, research from Psychology Today shows that when adults take a brief pause before reacting to a child's behavior, they are better able to regulate their emotions and respond thoughtfully. This pause isn't just about giving yourself a moment to calm down, it's about giving your toddler the chance to process their emotions too. When children are upset or acting out, they're often overwhelmed by their feelings. A brief pause gives them time to regain control. It's like hitting the reset button for both you and your child. The power of a pause also gives you the opportunity to model self-regulation. By taking a moment to breathe and collect your thoughts, you show your child how to handle frustration and anger in a healthy way. According to a study from the University of Washington, children who witness their parents using self-control are more likely to adopt similar behaviors themselves. This technique is especially helpful during moments of tantrums or meltdowns. Instead of immediately reacting to the chaos, take a small step back. Give your child a moment to settle down, and then approach them calmly. This allows you to engage in a more productive conversation about what happened and how to prevent it next time. Even a few seconds of pause can create a huge shift in the interaction. When you respond from a place of calm, your child is more likely to mirror that calmness. It's a simple, effective way to de-escalate a situation before it spirals out of control. Another benefit of the pause is that it helps you think through your response. In moments of frustration, it's easy to snap or say something you'll regret. But by taking a pause, you give yourself the chance to consider a more thoughtful and measured response. This not only helps prevent yelling but also sets a positive example for your child. Studies also show that children are more likely to calm down when they see that their parent is in control of their emotions. When your child sees you take a moment to breathe, they understand that emotions can be managed. This helps them feel more secure and less likely to act out in the future. The tiny pause, big impact strategy is simple but powerful. It's about taking a brief moment to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It helps you stay in control, model emotional regulation, and create a peaceful environment for both you and your child. Be sure to subscribe for more tips and tricks to help make parenting easier.